Hey y'all, whether it's morning, evening, or afternoon, I'm just glad that you guys had decided to vibe with E. Yes, your one and only, I hope by now, your favorite podcaster by now. So, y'all already know the drill, whether you're on the move or on the go. I just want y'all to sit back and relax and enjoy this episode because today, this vibe I have, it needs to be addressed. And of course, y'all know it's always special. So without further ado, let's get into it. I know this is going to be like, wow, you really decided to talk about this because a lot of people don't pinpoint on talking about this. So I want to be the one to say it. This is for the men, but mainly my black men. I know y'all probably like, what? What's up now? Like, I don't got time to hear all that. Da, da, da. No, this is a good sign. So, now introducing today's Bible today is men's mental health awareness. In honor of June, it is men's mental health awareness, and I did not see a lot of people talk about this, and I want to be the one to talk about it. So, I'm gonna get into it like this. As a woman that likes men, especially black men, I feel as though y'all should be able to express yourself. Y'all should be able to feel the way you feel because y'all mental is important just as much as I and the rest of the women out here as well. When I was doing my research on men's mental health, I seen like a lot of people would just post this picture that was on Instagram and just kept reposting it. But they wasn't like writing a message or anything on it. Like the picture had a whole bunch of stuff like, if you're a man, your health matters and things like that. But me, when I repost stuff, I always like comment on it because I feel as though it's important, just to say how you feel, but it also can help somebody just as well with this podcast and with this episode. I hope that it does help men out there, or even if it just help one man at least to know that don't be afraid to express yourself. And the reason why I really, really, really want to pin this on black men because as a woman growing up around black men and raised by a black man and has a brother, and are very close with men and things like that, I see a lot of things that y'all do to cover up y'all emotions, and it makes me so upset because I'm like, y'all live by this narrative like, oh, I'm a man. Real men don't cry, real men don't do this, real men don't do that. But I feel as though every real man has some type of emotion. Every real man has the right to feel how he feels because at the end of the day, man, you're a human. I don't want to hear all that narrative like, I'm a man, I gotta be strong, or I'm a man, I gotta do something good, I gotta do that. No, because at the end of the day, it don't make you no different. Like, I just don't understand at times why men just don't want to express themselves. Because I'm real big on feelings. And I want to know, like, if I'm close with you, like, if I'm really close with you and things like that, I want to know what's going on. Especially if I consider you somebody really close to me, So with that being said, I just want to just get this out in the open, like, as a woman that sees things and hear things from men that she's close with or that I see online, I feel as though y'all cover so much emotion to the point where it messes up your mental and it leads to things that it should not lead to, and I feel as though, yes, at times this little part right here goes for all black people, including women as well. We have a hard time of expressing ourselves. Now, sometimes people do go on social media and express themselves because you never know. Sometimes that little post or message is a cry for help. Like, at times people be like, oh, why she keep posting her feelings on there? Nobody cares. They're laughing at you. Things like that. At times I do feel like that because I feel like, okay, I don't think you should be putting this on there, but sometimes it be your last calling. You know, you can tell when the post is genuine, and you can tell when the post is not genuine when a person is on there and just keep talking about sobbing about nonsense. But if it's something like realistically going on, it's something that's really eating them up, balling them up beside, then yes, you can tell like, oh, this is a cry for help. Well, I wouldn't even technically say a cry for help, because you know they'd be like, oh my god, you make it seem like I'm a crybaby. No, it's just a sign saying that I need help. I want somebody to come to talk to me. You know, I need somebody to help me, you know? And I get it. And this is why I say this to say, like, I don't care what you are, what you believe in, this, and that, and the third. As a woman, a man should be able to feel the way he feels, because you're human at the end of the day. I don't want to hear all that narrative stuff, because every man feels some type of way. Even if it might not be the same as another man, you feel some type of way about any and everything. It could be your job, your kids, your schoolwork, your life, whatever it is. You're entitled to feel the way you feel, and that don't make you soft. And that's another thing that people fail to realize too, that men fail to realize too. Like, who cares about this name calling stuff? Because at the end of the day, you're a man. You know what you are. You know what you do. You know what you do. You know what you like and things like that. You're a man at the end of the day. You're entitled to feel how you feel. I don't care. Because if you hurting, you're hurting. Express yourself. Be able to express yourself. You know, as a woman, growing up around men, once again, I've seen them had a narrative at times, you know, and real men don't cry, real men don't do this, because real men are a representation of what it is to take care of a family, a strong, and all the other stereotypes and characteristics that defines a real man. However, as I got older till now, I understand why the men in my life did what they did and displayed what they did. But behind closed doors, they had feelings. Like, at the end of the day, they had feelings. Like, they expressed themselves when they were angry, they were hurt, or whatever the case may be. They did it. But, you know, sometimes when you do it, you know, in society around others, it's like, oh, here comes all the narcissists and things like that. The people that's quick to say, oh, you're soft. You're not a man because you're crying like that. No, I don't want to hear that shit. I feel as though like this. If I'm close with you and you are a man, like, and if you feel as though you need to vent, vent, because you're entitled to feel the way you feel, and you're entitled to express yourself, no matter how big or small the issue is. If you feel like you're not in a good space right now and you want to express it, because if you don't and keep it balled up, that stuff is going to mess up your mental, and it's going to drive you crazy. Okay? It's going to drive you nuts. It's going to drive you insane. And one thing I always say to myself, like, I got to stay sane. And I got to be around people that's able to keep me sane, because if not, I will lose my mind. And I thank God every day for them people that has kept me sane, even if we haven't known each other from many years, maybe if a couple months. Like, they keep me sane. Like last week when I was, you know, preparing for the next episodes and things like that, I text a few people, the women in my life, that kept me sane, because man, they kept me sane. Like, when I was in moments that I just couldn't, like, I couldn't take it no more, I ran to them. Like, my mom, like, that's my number one. She helped me in everything. My best friend, you know, and friends I met at school, and older women I met at work. Like, they kept me sane. Versus also too, when it comes to the men in my life, even though, you know, at times, you know, when you are a girl and you and your dad get into it, you got to remember he's doing what he's doing and saying what he's saying because he loves you and you're his child. Like, me and my dad, our bond is, you know, we have that father-daughter bond, and at times, yes, it gets ugly, but I always remember, like, he does this because he cares. You know, they do what they do because they care, and he keeps me sane. It's like my little brother. Like, we're 3 years apart, but I learned so much about him, and he learned so much about me. Like, you know, like, just in general, the men that's in my life, that are in my life today, I learned pieces from them, a little bit of pieces from them that they don't know about. Like, my best friend, we've been friends since elementary school, but became so close when I transferred to the school that he went to, the high school he went to, and like from that moment, as we got older, I learned something new about him every day. And when I knew when things wasn't right for him, I'd be like, what's wrong? Like, because, you know, that's another thing, too. Y'all men are real good at keeping a nonchalant type of vibe. I'd be like, oh, my gosh, bro, just let that feeling out. It's just me and you. It's not the other bros. It's not, you know, it's nobody else around. It's just me and you. Just be able to vent. And they be like, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. And I give them like 5 to 10 minutes, and they be like, all right, so here you go. You know, I be like, see, like, don't be afraid to vent, because you never know. It is somebody in your corner that's willing to hear you and is willing to help you along the way. And that's why I wanted to do this podcast, because even though y'all cannot see my face physically, you can hear my voice. And I think a lot of people are better when they hear it verbally sometimes than seeing it, because, you know, sometimes when you see somebody's their face, they face this person, I'll be like, is this genuine? Things like that. But nevertheless, I just feel as though when you're able to sit down and talk to somebody, you'll be able to, you know, get a glimpse out. Even if you gotta cry, if you gotta shout, you gotta yell, you gotta do all that stuff, do it. Because at the end of the day, bro, you're human. Your mental matters. And this is one issue. Well, it's not even an issue. Well, not issue. This topic is not being talked about as much in the media, because at times, yes, we tear down our men because at times they tear us down. But at the end of the day, if you're a woman, you should be able to lift that man up. It don't matter how bad the situation is, because at the end of the day, like I said, he's human, you're human. We're entitled to feel the way we feel. And we got to be able to just let it out without having to feel some type of way. Like, for example, like, I be on Instagram. Like, Instagram is just a prime example for, like, my generation. And Twitter, like, Twitter is just like, you just say and do anything. But Instagram, I feel like that's where you pinpoint, really see who's who for real. And, you know, at times, like, females, we post up. Well, I don't do this. I don't post my emotions, because at times I feel like people will take it and run with it. Be like, oh my God, look what E said today. Like, oh, she all like, oh, I feel so depressed. I'm not doing that. Because one thing I do when I feel so depressed, I run to the people that kept me sane, like my parents, my best friends, or whatever. And then I drop to my knees. It's been so many times I dropped to my knees and prayed to God about all the situations that I've been through, no matter if it was good or bad. I remember nights where I dropped on my knees and cried my eyes out, because at times where I was so hurt, or my mental, whatever the case may be, you know, no matter if it was good or bad, I remember them nights I dropped to my knees and cried. And still to this day, I drop to my knees at times. I may not cry, but I still drop to my knees and pray to God, and He works. But in order for them things to happen, you know, them prayers to happen, you got to put it in motion. You can't just say, oh, God, or whoever you believe in, can you help me? And you not put it in motion. You got to do things to get it started. You know, like, when you wind up that thing or whatever, you like a toy, when you wind it up like, what is it, the Jack in the Box? You twist it. You got to put more pressure in it for it to appear. So as I say this to say, this is for my men. If you feel some type of way, and you feel as though the people around you, whatever, is not supporting you with things like that and not helping you, the first thing I always say is sit down with them face to face. Don't do it on FaceTime. Don't do it in text, because text can lead to any and everything, and the tone can be from whatever. Like, it can give mixed emotions. FaceTime is cool and all, but I feel like I feel it more when you're in front of me and I'm looking you in your eye, and I feel like, okay, you get what I'm saying. So yes, to my men, if you feel as though the people that you consider your friends and your village is not supporting you in the way that you need support in, y'all need to sit down with these people one-on-one, not all together, because that can lead to conflict to you. Like, you telling John you don't like this because he did this, then you tell Sean he did this, you don't did this, then you tell Rod, like, nah, I want you to do it like individually, like, you know, text them, call them, be like, hey, what's up, bro, whatever, sis, whoever, are you free so we can go out and talk, or whatever the case may be, because, you know, I'm feeling like this, And, or just say, hey, sister, bro, when are you free so we can link and we can talk around. Don't tell them what it is right away, because they're going to be like, oh, I don't got time, stuff like that. Because you're going to make time today. If you care for me as much, you're going to make time today, okay? So, yes. For my men, I say this to say, please don't be afraid to speak the truth and speak your real feelings, because you are a man. Yes, you are, but at the end of the day, you're human. You're entitled to feel how you feel. You want to cry, you want to cry. And I know a lot of men are going to get on me when I say this. Growing up as a girl, like I mentioned, my dad used to not even try, he would always tell me, I'm going to teach you how to be a man too, because at times, what if you don't have a man, or I'm not around, your brother or uncle not around, you got to do certain things on your own. Like the narrative, like women can't do things a man can do, and a man can't do what a woman can do. Nah, I learned that a woman can do whatever a man can do, and a man can do whatever a woman can do, from my father. And he's like, a lot of things he taught me, like certain stuff like you would see a man doing, I learned how to do. And it's like, it's simple, but you just got to be able to learn how to do it. But I know y'all gonna get on me for this one. This takes the cake right here. When you growing up, you're a kid. Like when you're a kid, you're able to just have fun. The whole narrative as a kid, have fun, learn things like that. And while you having fun, at times you do hurt yourself. you hurt yourself to the point where them hurt so, to the point where you hurt yourself, them bruises and the pain hurt so bad you gotta cry. And this is where I feel as though, this is why sometimes as men always say men don't cry, because when they were growing up, if they hurt themselves or they feel type of way and they cry about it, the man or the mother is saying, why you crying? Stop all that crying. Shake it off. It ain't that bad. Man, if that motherfucking pain hurt, if I'm in pain, I'm going to cry about it. Because what you want me to do? Just sit there and just try to suck it up? No, especially when you're a kid. When we were kids, we were just playful, real playful. We did some reckless stuff. We did some crazy reckless stuff. Like I got some bruises on my leg that just still there, like them little strawberries and things like that. Like, But yes, I feel as though that was the number one red flag right there. When you were growing up as a kid, and boys play rough, okay, mind you. Before my sisters and brothers were born, I was the only child, and I had boy cousins that used to come over and play with me, and my girl cousins and things like that. Those little suckers were rough. They would rough you up, beat you up, and do things like that, want to play fight and everything with you. Then when you get them back, and when you finally get them back, it's like, yes, I got him. Now you feel how I feel. But, when it was us girls, like, stop crying, or they're like, oh, it's okay, it's all right. And, when men, like, the father of the son, when they see the mother, catering to their son and be like, it's okay, it's all right. They be like, nah, get off him, let him go. He's a man. He'll be all right. He don't need to be crying. That's where the number one red flag is at, because he's a child. At that time, that's a child. If he feels some type of way, let him cry about it. Don't let him just try to toughen up, because that's hard. That's like a number one red flag right there. Like, you can't just push that boy feelings away, because if that's what he feel, if that pain is hurting him, and that's the only way he can express it is by crying, let him cry. Don't try to be like, oh, shake it off, toughen up. No. And like I said, I was raised around men. My dad used to say the same thing to me. Tough it up. It's okay. It's all right. Shake it off. And then end up, trying to help the situation to you. Like, come on. But yes, I feel like that was the number one red flag right there, when men tried to tell their son or nephews and whatever that, don't cry when pain gets in your way. That's number one flag right there. And that type of stuff will always be in their mind, because like, okay, if I'm hurt or I feel hurt or I hurt myself, I can't cry in front of these people, because they're going to call me soft and they're going to call me a girl, because that's what girls do. Girls always express their feelings. Girls always crying and yelling, and I'm a boy. I can't do that, because they're going to say I'm a girl too, but I'm really a boy. And that's what I feel as though right there, that narrative needs to be stopped, because at the end of the day, if you are a man and you feel this type of way and it's hurting you, and the only thing you could do is cry, scream, yell, kick, whatever, do it. I don't care. I don't care. That don't make you soft. That goes to show you're a real man. A real man shows his feelings. A real man gonna tell how it is and how he feel, because that's how he is and that's what he's feeling. That's what real men do. I feel like a real man shows their feelings. A real man gonna tell how he feel rather than sugarcoating it and be like, I'm good, I'm good. But behind doors, like when he around nobody, he probably crying his eyes out. Like, just think on that real quick. Like, I know it's probably like, I know this is probably hitting you. I know it's probably hitting a lot of men right now. Like, dang, I should talk about me like that. Yes, I'm talking about you, sir. I'm talking about you because this needs to be addressed in honor of Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. I feel as though this needs to be said, and this should be drawn to your attention, and needs to be drawn to all of our attention, especially when it comes to us women, black women, that it needs to be drawn, because a lot of things that we see and seen when we were growing up, it haven't been addressed. It's been pushed away. And I feel like as a woman, a black woman, I feel as though our black men do not get the same respect that all these other generations that people used to believe in them narratives. Like the generations before be like, oh, this man can do this because he's that man can do this. No, I feel as though within this generation, I see a lot of boys, men, feel in some type of way and don't express it. And I'm the type to be quick to say, what's wrong with you? You want to talk? Like, are you okay? I'm going to say, are you okay? Because I'll be like, something don't seem right, and it's not, this not you. And, when a boy or a man can tell when a girl or a woman's not feeling right, they quickly say, what's wrong, man? Like, what's wrong? And once we don't tell them, it balls them up too. Vice versa. When a man or a boy don't tell a girl or a woman what's wrong, that balls us up too. Because, like, we both can't be mad. Somebody needs to talk. Somebody needs to express how they feel. Because at the end of the day, like I said, you're human. I don't want to hear that narrative, oh, I'm a man, I can't show that. Because, like I said, previous generations, they always had this narrative for men to be the higher ups. And when you are higher up, you gotta stay strong. You gotta keep that poker face on. You gotta show them characteristics of strong and strength and muscular and all that. No, I feel as though if you're a man and you feel some type of way about something, a person, or thing, or something is stressing you out and fussing you out or whatever, express it. Because if not, it's going to mess up your mental so bad to the point where you clash. And when you clash, it makes you do things you don't want to do. Like, it makes you turn into this person that you never thought that you could turn into. And it may lead to people around you don't even want to be around you because they are afraid. Because they're like, oh my gosh, like he just turned from this to that and this to that. And it's scaring me because it's not who he is. However, I'm going to pick on you men because I know some of y'all don't want to hear this. But I'm going to say it. Y'all don't like asking for help. I said it. Y'all don't like asking for help. And I know that's another thing too. Like they say, real men don't ask for help. Real men gonna figure a way. Real men gonna do this. Real men gonna do that. Okay. But like I said, my definition of a real man is different from the narrative and what generations hold as a real man. A real man gonna show his feelings. A real man gonna ask for help when it's needed to ask for help. I don't care what it is. If you're at your lowest point and you just have to depend on somebody, do it. And don't say like I need help, like money involved. If it's a money situation, don't say, can I hold $100 by Friday and I give it to you Sunday, and you don't give it to him Sunday. You know how people are. Just to sum that up real quick. If you gotta ask for stuff and you need it, don't put a date on it until you know when it's official. But nevertheless, y'all do not like asking for help, or y'all don't like just sitting and talking, period, when it comes to y'all feelings, because y'all feel like that's too soft. Like, why you want me to sit and talk about my feelings, my emotions? Like, that's what y'all do. That's what y'all women do. No sway. I don't care. Some women don't express themselves either. And I'm going to tell you right now, as it being Cancer season 2, I am a Cancer, and I stand I stand firm and term on this one. I said term, oh my God. But I stand firm on this one right here. As a Cancer, yes, I do wear my heart on my sleeve, because if I care so much about you and I consider you an important person in my life, whether you are family, friends, or somebody that I'm talking to or in a relationship with, I'm going to ask you nonstop until you break and tell me what's going on. Because, yes, at the end of the day, you're entitled to feel how you feel because you're a man. I don't care about that narrative. Oh, I can't express myself because that's a sign of weakness. No, it's not, Sway. Take that out your head. I say this to say this in honor of Men's Health Awareness Month, from a black woman speaking to my black men out there. Do not be afraid to express yourself, because you never know. Somebody in your corner or a complete stranger is out there willing to help you. And those people that are willing to help you are the ones that care so much about you and want you to be better for your mental and physical well-being. Because that's another thing too. You know, like, men are quick to see a woman and be like, you know, if she look rough, they quick to say, oh, she just let herself go. It's vice versa for us women when we see y'all men. And I see a man, you know, if I see a boy or whatever, man or boy, whoever, that's always, you know, stay up to par. And then I see, like, sometimes I be like, hold up, he don't look like himself today. He don't look like, you know, the suit and tie or the nice polo jeans, you know, whatever type gear. He don't look like that. He looks like he's depressed. And the depressed outfits I say is the hoodies with the sweatpants. Those are and if you wear it in the summertime, baby, it's hot right now. And if I know, and I know y'all know this, if you see somebody outside wearing a hoodie and the sweatpants and it's down there, goddamn, 80 to 90 degrees, you're going to question, what's going on? Are you okay? You know, like, are you okay? And that's another thing, too. Yes, your mental plays a big part, but also your appearance. Your appearance plays a big part, too, because physically, a person can see how you are. Like, a person can really see how you are without them even have to really, like, get into, like, the mental. But I do get deep to the mental. Like, if your physical appearance is not how you are, like, on a regular, I'm like, hold up, what's wrong? Because, like, is something going on? You want to talk about it? And if you don't want to talk about it right then and there, let's talk about it later. You know, let's find a solution to where as though we could be able to talk about this. And here's another example I want to use. By me being from Baltimore City, a couple weeks ago, a guy that was from the city, he passed away. He committed suicide. And from what I have seen on Instagram, he put a huge impact onto others, a very, very huge impact to others. And he was dealing with some type of mental as well. From what I was reading, you know, the suicide note and everything, like, he was hurting. And he was hurting really bad to the point where I felt as though, as a person, that he just needed people in his corner to be there for him, help him to, you know, be the best him he could be and make him feel better. You know, at times, even us people, when we do try to help the people we love, at times they still feel as though that this is not for them. And I always tell people, like, at least try. Don't do nothing. Don't just sit there and analyze. You need to try. Like, if you see your friend that's a male, or your family member that's a male going through something, speak on it before it's too late. And when I say too late, because that man, I don't know his name right now, y'all. It's not coming to my mind, but when it does, I'm going to say it. He was an Instagram influencer. He put a lot of mother freaking impact on people. He put a huge impact on people in the city. Even probably people from places like that's out of the state or whatever. That's not even in the city. Like, and things like that. People like that are the ones you most definitely have to look you have to really, really, really check up on. Like, I believe in that saying, like, if you have that friend that's always laughing, giggling, making a joke, always the life of the party, or the always one that's in good spirit, check up on them, because they are the main ones that are going through something and they're not speaking on it. They are the main ones that are going through something and they're not speaking on it, and they need help just as much as they check up on you. And I'm that type of person too. Like, I've always, crack a joke or two here and there, but sometimes I be like, dang, somebody check up on me. Even though at times I don't want to be checked up on, because I don't want people to be like, oh, she's just sobbing and all that. No, you never know what somebody's going through. And it's always the ones that are always caring and there for you. You need to check up on them, because those are the ones that can keep that mask on real good, but behind closed doors they take that mask off, and that's where the real deal of them comes out. Like, this is it, And when I read that story about that man, it hurted me, because I'm like, bro, that is really sad. Like, he really put a huge impact onto a lot of people in the city, his family, friends. He really was like an icon, like a legend within the city. And for him to, it was tragic for what happened to him, that a lot of people was like, men's mental health is real. And it is, but this is the narrative too that I don't like. When things like that do happen to people, they always say, please check up on the ones you love and care for. Okay, they check up on them and that's it. At least I know at times it's probably like, I don't want to keep bothering this person. Bother them. Let them know that you care. Let them know that you're here. Like, let them know that I'm here for you. I'm checking up on you. That's me, like within my family members, the friends, and the boys I used to talk to, had, some type of bond with. I always make sure we don't end on bad terms, because, you don't want to have that burden on, like, oh my gosh, we end on bad terms and this happened and I didn't want this to happen. I always check up on them. Like, I always text them like, hey, such and such, I just thought about you today, or hey, such and such, I seen what you post on Instagram or Twitter, whatever. I just want to make sure you okay, make sure, everything all right. I'm here for you. Especially the ones I used to talk to, like the dudes I used to be really cool with, they would talk to, because like, in the beginning stage when you meet somebody, they talk about themselves, and then I learn a little bit about them, and them little details I learned about them, I keep with me, because it's like, that's special. And most females don't talk about that, but I'm going to talk about it. Like, if I meet a guy, or my family member, whoever, a guy, period, and we talking or whatever, I'm going to take the little bit of details that I'm seeing or hearing, and I'm gonna keep that in me. Like, wow, like, even if he says something that's really like, whoa, I never heard this before, or do things that I never seen, like, whoa, I never did this before. Just the little things too, and just reminding them the little things you kept, and you just seen within them, that can make their day too. Like, you never know who day you can make, especially when it comes to men. Like, now I'm getting on the girls on this one. Don't be afraid to call that man, even if that man is in your life, not in your life, your family, not your blood, your close friend, not your close friend. Don't be afraid to call that man, check up on that man, and be like, look, I thought about you today. I just want to make sure you're okay or whatever, And if y'all left on bad terms, please apologize. Like, don't, just take accountability, y'all. Just take accountability on it. Don't be that type of person that be like, I don't care, she did this. No, because that can mess up their mental and yours too. So, as I say this to say, within the black community, as a black woman, I strongly stand behind the black men, because being raised and brought up by black men, I've seen all the amazing things that y'all did, to the point where that at times y'all had y'all moments where y'all want to cry and shout, and y'all did it behind closed doors and was afraid to talk to people. I say this to say this: don't be afraid to express yourself. Don't be afraid to say how you feel, because you at the end of the day, yes, you're a man, but you're human. You're entitled to feel the way you feel. You're entitled to say what you want to say. You gotta cry, shout, yell, do it, because that's how you feel at that moment, do it. Okay? So yes, I know this episode is kind of late because, once June is over, that's it. But I wanted to speak on this because a lot of people was not speaking on these, and I feel like, why is nobody speaking on this? Like, men are important too. Like, men play a big part in the world too, especially the black men. So yes, as I end off this episode, I just want all my men, but mainly my black men, to remember this: you are important. You are very, very important. But most of all, you are a person that has feelings, and you are able to say how you feel when you need to feel. So if you need to release the anger and anything like that, do it. Don't be afraid to do it. Just do it. Because once you do that, it's going to help you mentally and physically. I hope this episode really, really, really put an impact onto somebody's life, because man, I'm big on the mental. I'm really big on the mental, and I feel as though that it needs to be said. Something needs to be done, like ASAP. So yes, I hope you guys have enjoyed listening to my voice, me go on a rant, because this is, well, not even a rant, I guess I would call it a rant, whatever. But this has been the longest episode I have made so far, because this vibe I felt as though need to be said and addressed like ASAP, because like I said, nobody has really mentioned about it. Yes, they made that little Instagram post, but nobody really has talked about it. And yes, I'll be the one to talk about it, and I did, and I hope and I hope that someone out there I really hope that I have helped somebody out there. So yes, as I end this off, I say this: I wish y'all nothing but peace and blessings. I hope that y'all be safe out here, because it's summertime. I want y'all to be safe, be careful wherever you go. Please make sure y'all on y'all P's and Q's, and make sure y'all stay hydrated and everything, because it is hot outside. And as always, until next time, I cannot wait for you guys to hear the next vibe of the day. Bye.